Hi, Mike. Jeff Bradley here. I want to thank you for replying to my Facebook business page post that I did. So I took a look at your website and I wanted to see if I could find some things that I might be able to recommend to you as far as things that you can immediately do to improve your Google ranking. And I did find a few things, and I wanted to point them out to you here. So here we are on your website. And by the way, I'll try to keep this brief. This stuff can get really techy, and I could talk a long time about it, but I'm going to try and not do that. My goal is to be under 10 minutes for the video. So I'm on your website here, and first of all, I determined that you, according to the footer on your website, you look like you're actually in Bronx. Right here. So I took a look at the entire area, and population-wise, the greater New York City area, there's about 25 million people here. This is all the surrounding areas. That is an extraordinarily steep hill to climb, mountain to climb, really, as far as competition level to get onto page one. And obviously, page one is where you want to be at in your Google listings, your Google ranking, because according to Google, 92% of people that search on Google never look past page one. So the businesses that are on page one, they're capturing 92% of all the new business in your area. And that leaves about 8% for page two, and then after that, there's virtually nothing left over. So, and I looked for you in the rankings, I couldn't find you. So we need to get that situation corrected. We need to get you onto page one. So here's how we're going to do that. So as I said, there's about 25 million people in this area. However, Bronx is a much more manageable area, much less steep hill to climb, and I'll show you why. There's about 1.5 to 1.8 million people in this area. Now, relatively speaking, that's still a huge area. I mean, it's a huge population level, and oftentimes it's still a very steep hill to climb, but I'm going to show you why I think that this is a very doable thing for you to do in a pretty short period of time to get you onto page one, and I'll show you why that is. It's still plenty of business. I mean, possibly enough business where you wouldn't even have to worry about ranking in outer surrounding areas. 1.8 million. Sometimes that's enough population to keep any business busy as long as they want to be, unless you want to scale your business to the surrounding area. And if you want to do that, then you are in a perfect situation to do that. And we could discuss all these things later on if you were interested in having a conversation about it. But for right now, for the video, let's just stick to your area, the Bronx. So what I did was I did some research to find out precisely what is the highest traffic volume keyword that businesses in your industry are ranking for on page one. And by the way, in addition to this video, I am also going to send you an Excel sheet. I did a little bit of research and I found the top keywords that one of your top competitors is currently ranking on page one for. And I'm going to send you the list of those keywords so that you can take a look at those and that kind of help you in formulating your strategy moving forward. So anyway, let's go back to your website. Now, what I found is the highest traffic volume keyword for your industry right now is estimating services. And there are several variations of that keyword that are also very high traffic volume keywords. For example, one of them is construction cost estimating services, and you already happen to have that right here in your header. But by far, the highest traffic volume keyword right now is estimating services. So what I did was I went to Google and I typed in estimating services Bronx, New York to see what comes up. Now, we got a mishmash of things happening. Typically on page one, you're going to have people buying ads. You're going to have the map section. and you're going to have the organic listings, and you're going to have tons and tons of directories, usually. However, this is good for you. Page 1 for your area doesn't happen to have any ads, and it also doesn't really have any directories going on. So that's great. That just makes the competition level a little less steep. Now, without going into a lot of detail, Google has proven through study that by far the most business goes to the organic listings. And we could have a discussion of why that is, ads, map section, directories, etc. Google has very interesting data on all that stuff, but the bottom line is, by and far, the most business goes to the organic listings. So what we need to do is get you ranking onto page 1 for the organic listings. Now, before we go into the details of how to do that, you need to remember one crucial bit of information, one important principle, and that is that Google grades on a curve. Now, by that, I mean that you don't have to have the greatest website in the world to get onto page 1. All you have to do is understand what are those things that Google looks for and tracks and measures on a website, and then all you have to do is be just a little bit better in those things than your competition is. Now, I'll show you what I mean by that. Let's go back to your website. Now, the first thing that Google looks at when trying to rank a website is your title tag. Now, the title tag doesn't appear anywhere on your website. If you go into the editing section of your website, there's a field called title tag. Sometimes it's called page title or meta title, but something like that. That's your title tag. Now, the title tag doesn't appear on your website anywhere, but it appears in the Google listings. Now, all these blue lines of text are the title tags. The title tag tells Google what it is your website is about and the keyword that you want to rank for. So, if we go back to your website, I'm going to open up this scanning tool and watch what I found. Currently, your title tag, is home-A1 estimating. Now, this is telling Google that these are the keywords that you want people to use to find you with. Now, the problem with this is that nobody in the world looking for your services is ever going to type in home A1 estimating. First of all, they wouldn't even know to type in your business's name, and they would never type in home in their search. Nobody would ever type these things into their search. So, what we need to do is clear this up. This is creating confusion in the mind of Google. When Google looks at this title tag, Google doesn't know what your website is about, and it doesn't know what the keywords are that you want to rank for. And a third thing is that Google doesn't know where you are located. Those are the three things that Google learns from your title tag. So, keeping that in mind, let's change your title tag. Your title tag needs to contain those 3 bits of information. So your title tag needs to read something like estimating services dash Bronx, New York dash A1 estimating. Now Google knows precisely the keyword you want to rank for and where you're located and your business's name. So those are the 3 things that I would recommend, and that is in keeping with Google's format for how a title tag should read. It should read keyword dash location dash business name. And sometimes people like to put the location first, as in location dash keyword dash business name. But either way, those 3 components need to be in place for your title tag. If your title tag read estimating services dash Bronx, New York dash A1 estimating, now Google will know precisely the keyword that you want to rank for and where you're located. Now, the second thing that Google looks at when trying to rank you is your H1. Now, the H1 does appear on your website, usually somewhere towards the top. And the H1, the purpose of the H1 is that it must match precisely what you have in your title tag. So there can be a one-to-one correspondence between the title tag and the H1. When that happens, now Google knows precisely the keywords that you want to rank for and precisely where you're located. So in your case, your H1 needs to also read estimating services, dash, Bronx, New York, dash, and then your business's name, A1 Estimating. When that happens, when you have a title tag and an H1 that are matching, now there is a crystal clear channel of communication between your website and Google's algorithm. Now Google knows precisely who to direct to you in a search and what area they should be in. So when those two things are dialed in, that is going to have an enormously huge impact on your Google ranking. And I would be very interested to see how far that would take you as you rise in the rankings, just from that alone. And once that's done, what we would do is we would take all of your primary services for which you have individual pages, and we would do the same thing for each one of these pages. We would find the highest traffic volume keyword for each one of these services, and we would fix the title tag for that page and the H1 for that page, so we could begin to drive individual traffic to all of these services and any other services that you also offer that you might not yet have pages for. For example, labor cost estimating, all of these different things that you offer. We would find what is the highest traffic volume keywords for all of these things, and we can begin driving specific traffic to all of those pages. Now, once this is done, this all accounts for about 50% of your ranking power. Now, this leads me to the third thing that I want to show you very quickly, as the video is getting kind of long already, so we'll run through this quick. The next thing that Google looks at is your backlink profile. Now, you probably know what backlinks are. It's when outside websites link to your website. And when that happens, whatever ranking power those outside websites have, a portion of that ranking power is going to flow back to your website and contribute to your ranking power. So right now, I did a scan, and the domain rating is what we want to look at. The domain rating is on a scale from 0 to 100, and it's a measure of your backlink profile and your ranking power. So right now, obviously, your domain rating is 0, and you don't have any backlinks and no linking websites. So right here, this is a fantastic place to begin building a campaign of backlinks for you. Now, just to show you where you stand in relation to your competitors, your number one competitor in your area for estimating services in the Bronx is World Estimating. Now, they have a domain rating of 48. Now, that seems enormously high, and it is actually. I'm surprised that it's that high. They've got almost 6,000 backlinks. I think this is far and away more than they need to be able to rank on page 1 for estimating services, and I'll show you why in a second. Because if we go to your next competitor, look at this. Estimating of New York, they've got a domain rating hardly any better than yours, 0.1, yet they're on page 1. They've got 31 backlinks, 13 linking websites. The next competitor, Drexel Estimating, domain rating 2.4, backlinks 150. This is very much within your reach to not only close the gap and catch these businesses in the rankings, but to surpass them, because this is a very, very, very doable thing to accomplish, and in a reasonably short period of time. Watch this. The next competitor is New York Cost Estimating, domain rating of 10. 163 backlinks. This in a couple 2 or 3 months' time, we could easily surpass all of these businesses and create a far better backlink profile. My team and I have put together a nationwide network of fantastic linking websites for all different business niches and industries. And we could begin building a campaign of backlinks, flowing ranking power back to your website. And once that happens, combined with getting all of your on-page data and metrics dialed in, I just think is a very, very reasonable expectation to get you onto page 1 fairly quickly, and to begin getting your share of the traffic for estimating services. And right now in Bronx, on average, there are about 100 searches per month for that particular service. And that's just in the Bronx. That doesn't include the surrounding areas. And if we get you onto page 1 for that keyword in this area, that's going to begin to have a ripple effect going outwards to the surrounding areas. And you're going to start showing up highly in the rankings for the surrounding area as well. So it's a matter of getting you up onto page 1, and it's not that steep of a hill to climb, as we can see. And when that happens, you can begin to take a sizable percentage of the traffic volume, the search traffic volume that's happening per month for your industry in your area. So I just wanted to show you all of these things and give you an idea where you stand, and to see that it's a very, very doable thing. And even if our efforts got you 1 new client per month, I mean, that's probably going to pay for any work that we might do for you. But even before you spend any money with us or anybody else on this type of work, I would advise that you go ahead and try my recommendations to get your title tag and your H1 dialed in to see where that takes you. I think you would have an enormous boost in your rankings. Might not get you to page 1, but who knows where it would land you. But we can keep our eye on that and see what happens. And if you have any questions moving forward, if you'd like to have a conversation about all this stuff, I'd be happy to hop on a quick phone call with you. Just reply back, and I'd be happy to we could take it from there and see what we might be able to do together moving forward. So I'm going to post this video to your Facebook direct messenger. And I'm also going to send you, like I said, that Excel sheet that shows you the top keywords that one of your competitors is ranking for on page 1 to give you some information moving forward. So anyway, hope to hear from you soon. Take care. I hope this information's of value to you. And I'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye now.